Hi, I'm Marjorie Waldo. I am the president and CEO of the Arts Garage. And I grew up in Southern Virginia, but I was actually born in Key West, Florida. We attempt to follow 4 pillars in our programming. Our vision is to bridge our community to the world through the arts. So we believe that every time there is an expression of art, our patrons, our staff, our community is learning about the culture of the artist, about the race or racial experiences of the artist, about the beliefs and vision that artist has, as well as the music that they play. So we believe that's a healing and very transformative power of art. And it doesn't matter whether it's visual or performing. So our 4 pillars are music performances. We do thought-provoking, collaborative efforts in theater. It's not a huge part of our programming, but we hope to grow that. The 3rd piece is arts education. And the 4th is outreach in the community, making sure that we're collaborating with community partners. So the music piece, we have everything from Grammy award winning, we have regional acts, we have national acts, and we do a significant amount of alternative programming for emerging artists. We have open mic nights from jazz, Latin jazz, blues, rock, alternative hip hop, world music. We do a lot. We're doing some gospel this summer. So we're doing a whole lot of variety. So the project started as an effort by the CRA we're in the CRA district, and there are 2 key missions that we try to support at the Arts Garage for the CRA. One is providing opportunities for children or adults from the underserved community of Delray, and make sure that the arts of all kinds, visual or performing arts that we do here, are accessible to them. The other key goal that the CRA had is to produce economic impact in the city. And this Arts Garage, as well as other performance art venues, are definite draws to the city. Because when you purchase a ticket at Arts Garage, you usually also go to dinner or go have a drink or something before. So it definitely brings people and money into Delray Beach. The city is amazing. I've lived here for a long time now, since '99. There's a huge push for us to support local small business. We celebrate those businesses. We celebrate our nonprofits. It's not only gorgeous, it's just a gorgeous place to live. A village by the sea. It has that small town feel, but there is a huge support of the art community. When I started here, which was in November of 2016, we were using the gallery space sort of like many other galleries that I have been to, not necessarily in our community. I wanted to brand the gallery for visual artists, so we called it the Grassroots Gallery, and we only showcase local artists who live, work, or play in Delray Beach. They have to have some connection to the city. So we host 2 artists at a time. They receive a reception and marketing material that they can push out. It does not cost them anything to put their art on the wall. And we receive 30% of the sale, so they receive 70%, and they know that before they price their art, so they can make sure that they get what they want for the piece. We put $13,000 in emerging artists' pockets. In that process, we found that what we were calling emerging, which was a very pure definition of someone who had never had a show before, there were so many other layers of emerging artists that we were not serving. So behind me is something we're calling the artist ladder. It can be one or multiple artists. In this case, it's one artist. there's a fee to put your art on the wall here, but these artists have had a little more traction in their careers. So they're a little bit further along. They receive a higher percentage of the sale. We really believe in helping people live their passions.
So the way we kind of get the artists here at Arts Garage, I hunt down on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We also get a bunch of submissions on our website. I go through and I look at the work that they submit. I also go to their websites and stuff like that to see their work and get a feel for who they are as an artist. And then I kind of engage with them and talk about what your vision is as an artist and where do you come from and what have you done and this kind of a thing. I kind of start to look at the artists that I have on hand and pair them together because we showcase the two. I like when art speaks to each other. It doesn't have to be carbon copies. Like it doesn't have to be photographs of places to be hung together. We have a show coming up that's a guy who lived in Brazil, and he has this very fine detailed line work, but the colors in his go so beautifully with this woman who does just these inked canvases that have this crackle effect that naturally appear. Process-wise, they're completely different, but they go so beautifully together because they complement each other. So that's kind of how I went through everything. Just getting the art to speak to each other and invoke a feeling in the people who visit and look at the artwork.
So we want everybody that walks in here, whether it be a patron, an artist, or a student who's taking a class, to feel welcome, to feel that we celebrate diversity every day, both in the genres of music, in the type of art we put on the wall, in the staff that we have here. And we want kids to feel that from an early age so that we capture them and make them feel included in something and part of something. So it's very exciting.
So on top of being the curator here, I am also what Marjorie coined as the director of WOW. We have some pretty cool job titles here. We have a director of dopeness. I'm the director of WOW. Director of WOW, I do additional programming and I make things cool and make people like stop and say wow. So one of the things in our mission of the idea of inclusion of everybody in the community, I came up with a drag show where we had 12 queens compete for a title of Garage Queen and a crown and a sash and the whole nine to showcase the art and the beauty that is drag. It's performance art. It takes a lot. These queens work so hard on what they're doing and practicing their craft and making their costumes, and it's just extraordinary. We launched the program, or the show, June 1st, the month of Pride. And just to shine a glowing light on the LGBTQIA community and just get involvement here. It's been a phenomenal success. We've had one show already and it was a complete sellout. It was unlike any other drag show I've ever been to. The queens were so excited and so thankful and so happy that they actually got a platform that was outside of like a club or outside of a bar. This was like them having an actual stage to perform on, and it just like gave me chills and tingles, and it was extraordinarily exciting. We have our host, who's Ariel Rim. She works for a law office during the day, and then at night comes out in these extraordinary like ball gowns and big green hair or whatever she's feeling for that night. So it's really heartwarming to see the community accept this and run with it, and it's not just in some bar, and it's getting the spotlight that it deserves.
We do as much education as we can for both kids and adults. So for adults, we've had Jazz and Java, for example, with a retired conductor who talks about jazz artists during certain eras of jazz history, and plays music and has like a discussion group. It's Jazz and Java, so there's coffee and donuts and jazz discussion. We've also had spoken word workshops, drumline. I was an educator for many years and I worked with at-risk students. And what I found in those at-risk students is that many of them were painters, singers, rappers, writers. They were not academics. And it was easy for them to disappear in front of their teachers because they didn't fit the mold of what we push kids through. So that taught me something, that we need an outlet for people who have a passion for something that's not mainstream. We want to make sure that people have an opportunity to build a career, to produce some sustainable wealth, and to launch themselves. We want to be part of that process. It's really exciting. So if you want to take a look at the program that we do or buy tickets or make a donation, the website is www.artsgarage.org. If you have any questions, you can go to info@artsgarage.org and that information will be fed to me or whoever is appropriate to answer your question. If you are interested in submitting your art to be reviewed by our art curator, then you can do that on the website. There's a tab that says art submissions. Same thing with music. If you're a local musician and you'd like us to consider putting you on the stage here in some version of our programming, there's also a music submission tab. So we'd love to have you reach out.